Hey guys, and welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are delving into Season 3, Episode 5 of Battlestar Galactica. I am very excited because we have gotten off of New Caprica and are now back on board the Galactica. Lee is back on the Galactica as well because the Pegasus has been destroyed, which makes me happy a little bit because I didn't like him being on another ship. One, the Pegasus was freaking cursed basically for captains too. And yeah, it takes him away from the dynamics that he has with other characters that I most enjoy, like Starbuck, his dad. Yeah, mostly those two. Also, I just realized that the AC is still on, so I will turn that off in just a second. You'll hear the buzzing throughout the intro, but I'm going to turn it off afterwards. So, aside from that, Starbuck was rescued by Anders. She was in the detention center. Leoben had been lying to her. Casey was, in fact, just a human child that he had kidnapped that had blonde hair that he could pass off as theirs because she was young enough that she didn't really, communicate effectively. Yeah, so that's that. I'm interested to see how Starbuck copes going forward. We also have Sharon and Hilo's baby still on New Caprica with, is it 3? I think so. With 3 and Gaius, who got left behind, and Caprica 6. So I'm curious as to how that whole storyline is going to go, and just what's going to happen now, because are the Cylons just going to follow the humans again and continue this war that I feel they could have negated and, changed going forward, or is it going to be a different sort of situation? I don't know. Only one way to find out, though, and that's by pressing play.
Walk.
Oh no, is it Jammer? They should not do this.
Evidence for the following charges have been presented to the Circle. That you carried arms for the enemy, that you carried out multiple raids against the human population, and that during one raid, 23 people were killed by you and your men during the assault on the Temple of Artemis.
It's not true.
Does Adama know that this is happening? Because I'm super not okay with this.
The Circle has examined the evidence and found you guilty of treason and crimes against humanity.
Who is the Circle? Are you sanctioned?
I was just trying to help people.
You didn't do a very good job then, did you?
All right, let's just get this over with.
Well, I help people. I help lots of people.
He saved Callie.
Chief, I helped Callie. I saved Callie.
He did.
What do you mean you helped Callie?
I'm the one who did. I'm the one who let her go when they were going to shoot her. Because of me, Chief, I helped Callie. I saved Callie.
He's not lying.
Well, they killed 23 people during the temple raids. 12 men, 8 women, and 3 children. My son is on this list. And that fracking son of a bitch put him there. So saving Callie, if that happened, does that make up for killing my son?
No, of course it doesn't. But did he do that?
Does saving Callie let him off the hook for killing 23 others?
But did he personally kill 23 other people? Like, do you have proof of that? Because that kind of matters in the grand scheme of things. Would you not agree?
It was a crazy time there, Chief. You make these decisions so fast. You're making an arrest, and people come out with their hands up. But sometimes it's just a trick. They tell you they're surrendering, and then they open fire. We thought they were insurgents. It wasn't until after we saw the bodies.
So he is guilty, but I mean, y'all have blood on your hands too, innocent blood. There's blame to go around.
Punishment for treason is death.
Does Adama know about this? Is this sanctioned?
I'm sorry!
It's too much friggin' talk.
They're gonna space them, I assume. Is this sanctioned? I don't think that this is okay. I don't think what he did is okay, but I also don't think that this is okay. I don't think that, like... I don't know. I don't want to watch it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think that's okay. And I don't want to cry. But, like, I think that's pretty fucked up. And I need to know
Son,
if that was sanctioned.
Kevin,
Is he alive now because you just did that?
he was only 7 years old.
Is he alive now because you just said that? Like, I feel for you, but, like... I don't think that that is gonna help you grieve him, sir. Like, I don't think it will.
This isn't what I signed up for.
Thank you, Anders. Fucking finally. Someone.
Buddy, there you go. I know. Mommy's much more comfortable than me, huh?
I wonder if he's gonna ask her if that happened.
Callie. When you were down on the planet, you ran away from the trucks. Did anybody help you?
No.
She's lying.
Wait, yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Somebody told me to run. I probably was one of those goons. I haven't thought about it since.
kind of weird that you wouldn't think about that and it wouldn't register as something that you would know.
I mean, why do you ask?
No reason.
Not sanctioned then. This circle is committing summary, well, not summary execution, but like they're just killing people with, like, that's murder, right? Like, you can't just kill people. Like, this is a society. They have rules and laws, right? Like, so what they're doing is illegal. Not to mention fucked up, you know? And, like, you guys, it's not that I don't have any sympathy for the guy whose 7-year-old son died. Like, I think that that's horrific, and the fact that that happened is beyond horrible. But I also think that answering evil with evil doesn't make good win out in the end, you know?
In my opinion, it wasn't his fault.
I hate to admit it, but the Admiral's right. He was in an impossible situation. I'd probably done the same in his position.
If that's the way it has to be, then that's the way it has to be.
Who are they talking about?
Mistakes were made.
What? I'm confused. I thought he was still on New Caprica. Surely this is a dream.
You're being too lenient. He betrayed you.
Wouldn't bother if they can't hear you.
Don't make me angry, Gaius.
You wouldn't like her when she's angry.
Sure, okay, it's for sure a dream.
I've always wanted you.
This is 1,000,000% a dream. Because, like, that is not accurate.
I'm dreaming, aren't I?
Yeah. So he is not, in fact, on the Galactica. I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. Guys, you have interesting dreams, bud. I mean, I get the whole forgiveness part, like them realizing that he had little choice, because that is true. But the Roslin thing is just, you know, him being horny, I guess. Although, you have to feel sympathy for Gaius, right? Because he's the only human here surrounded by silence, right? Like, he's stuck and he can't escape. It's also very fucking bright. Could you sleep in that room? Also, why is he naked?
Did you get any sleep?
Sleep when you're dead.
It's called trauma.
What is all that?
I got my gear out of storage. Never thought I'd see any of this stuff again.
She's really going through.
Just don't.
Anders,
Okay.
did she tell you what she went through? Because I think she might need processing time. You know? Which I understand would be hard for you because now she's acting different than when she disappeared. But, like, girl went through some fucking shit. Like, let her process.
How long before the new quorum of 12 can be sworn in?
Of course, Sarek's president.
I will personally place your name in nomination as my vice president. Once they confirm you, I submit my resignation, and you get sworn in.
Really?
That means Tom Zarek wants something, so why don't you put your cards on the table and let's see if it's a price that I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I never had any illusions about remaining in office for very long. And the Admiral's made it quite clear that he'd like nothing better than to put me in a cell if I try to hang on to power. I want to be included in the new government.
He wants to be her VP?
I don't want to be on the outside looking in anymore.
So he wants to go from VP to president, back to VP? It's weird to see them getting along.
The vice presidency is yours, if you want it, Tom.
Like, would that not be confusing as, like, a people? It's like, okay, this person's president. Okay, they named this person as vice president. Okay, they stepped down. Okay, they're vice president. Like, you know. Ooh, Gata. I wonder how...
You gotta be kidding. Who gave this man permission to enter the CIC?
Okay, I guess that's how people feel. That's what I was about to say.
Admiral's orders, sir.
Well, isn't that nice? Man can turn his coat, collaborate with the enemy, contribute to the deaths of thousands, but the old man needs his phones fixed and suddenly all is forgiven.
Do you understand how he didn't have a choice?
Look at me! As long as you're here, maybe you can help me out. I'm missing something. I lost it in detention. How about it?
Ty, you need to...
Do you know where my eye is? So!
You're grieving, I get it, but, like, shut the fuck up. Sorry. To be blunt. You went through some shit. I understand. Gator personally did not do that. He
I need you to get some sleep.
literally helped.
Get ready, all right?
Oh, I'm ready right now. I may be a little rough around the edges, but I can still hold my own. And
No.
you can tell that toaster lover over there that I am still the XO of this ship.
Let's go.
Get your hands off me.
You're embarrassing yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Go sleep this off.
Yes. Is he drunk? Do we think he's drunk?
Well, I'm not forgetting. I'm not gonna forget.
Okay, but my issue with Ty this whole time since the Resistance episodes is that he has no perspective and no ability to look at anything from a perspective that's not his own.
The charges are carrying arms for the enemy in a time of war, shooting 3 civilians. In collaboration with the enemy, I call the vote.
Guilty.
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 Y'all need to stop this.
The vote being unanimous, the sentence is death.
Okay. Stop fucking killing people!
How many more of these we got?
57.
50s? Okay, come on.
I can get through 50 of these things in an hour.
You think we're a bunch of thugs handing out punishment on a whim?
Yeah, kind
Jammer
of.
didn't get airlocked because you thought he was guilty. There was evidence. He was tried and convicted by this circle.
Which has no legal authority, so shut the fuck up. It's not justice if you have no legal authority to carry out murder.
Next case.
I think y'all are all wrapped up in grief and trauma, and you need to take a step back and stop it.
Charges are collaborating with the enemy and crimes against humanity.
Yeah, and he literally was helping the insurgency, which we know. We, the audience, know.
I don't want to do this. You think I like it?
Yeah, kind of.
It was like family. But the fact remains he was the chief of staff to Gaius Baltar. And that alone is enough to convict him.
And I'm saying that on this particular guy, we do not have any hard evidence. We got no witnesses, nothing. All we do know is that he worked for Baltar. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He worked for the insurgency too.
He did the paperwork.
He approved the death list.
How do you know that?
Yeah, you don't.
Were you there? Did you see him approve one single death list?
He knew Callie was on a death list.
What are you talking about? How do you know that?
Look there.
Yeah, and he gave y'all the list.
Execution order.
It's still all
And he gave
We
the
don't know what Gaeta
insurgency
did or
the
didn't do
list.
when he saw that list.
Sam, you see a death list like that, you know innocent people are gonna die and you do nothing.
How do you think you got it? Do y'all not remember that someone gave it to you?
The question of the innocence or guilt of Felix Gaeta has been called. The Circle will vote.
Again, y'all have no fucking authority to kill people. This is not evidence. This would not stand up in a court of law.
No, don't bother. I'm done.
And we're still voting.
Good.
I'm not.
Walk away, Anders. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Respect you a little bit more now.
Still 4 to none, Chief.
Walk,
What's your vote?
walk
Oh,
away.
wait a minute, we need 6 votes.
No, screw that.
You know, screw you. We're a jury. That's how it was set up. We need 6 votes. We don't have 6 votes, I'm out too.
He's right. You need a 6th.
What you need is to not do what you're freaking doing. Juries are made up of 12 people anyway. Just saying. Also, they're impartial. They're not allowed to know about the case. I don't know about how it works in Battlestar Galactica universe, but that's usually the case. Sorry, I'm getting heated, you guys. I know you guys don't like it when I get heated, so I'm sorry.
It's just that there's been some controversy about whether or not you should have been let on board or not.
Can't believe there's still a question of my value.
Always be a question. You are a human.
I helped you. I gave you Sharon's child.
Yes, that's right, you did. And the child's rescue did weigh in your favor. However, the vote's deadlocked. 3 in favor of your being allowed to stay, and 3 against. With 1 model still undecided, the decision rests with the 6s.
6 isn't sure? That doesn't make sense. It might be
We're starting to see a rash of
different
missing
6.
persons reports. These are people known to have survived. Jammer, for instance.
Yep.
Deckhand. I saw him yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, but he didn't report at muster this morning. Bed check negative, sick bay negative. It's like he just vanished.
Yeah, he got thrown out the fucking airlock.
13, as of today. 2 on Galactica, 11 elsewhere. Every one of them confirmed as a survivor by multiple witnesses, and then poof, gone.
Yeah, it's the fucking circle.
Now, if you'll excuse me,
Where are you going?
I have a date with a jump rope.
Oh, he's exercising.
Hey, I've dropped half a stone.
Keep jumping.
Accurate. I need to jump rope myself. I'm not judging you. I feel bad for Gaeta. Like, does nobody have any perspective? They start working at you with him?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Why do you ask?
Because you're sitting with him?
I heard about your situation. You've read.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I just try not to think about it anymore. You know, kind of like you. Sitting in your plushy little office on Colonial 1 doing all Baltar's dirty work for him.
Starbuck.
Probably never even thought about what was happening to me, right?
You have no idea what you're talking about.
I was serving the legal president of the colonies. We all elected him, remember?
Was I supposed to excuse it?
Yes.
What do you want me to say? Maybe I could have done more, but...
He did?
I thought that
What
when
he
the
could.
Cylons landed, it was important for me to keep my job. To help from the inside. No, I fed information to the Resistance.
He did.
I set up dead drops. There was a dog bowl, I passed along Cylon positions, internal memoranda.
He did.
Right, Felix. You're a fracking hero.
I don't think that any of y'all have the right to sit here as fucking judge, jury, and executioner. And it's fucking pissing me off. Like, what gives you the right? What gives any of you the fucking right?
Whatever feelings I had for you have to stop.
Why?
I allowed my feelings to cloud my judgment. I protected you.
Yeah.
I gave your species a second chance. I even turned against a sister Cylon, and for what?
Y'all are the ones who fucked it up. The Cylons. By continuing to be the villain.
You are much, much more than a machine. You're a person.
An individual.
A real person. And you're in love with me.
No, this has to end.
Why?
You need me. You need me. Admit it. Admit it. You need me. And I need you too. Did you hear me? I need you too.
I'm just so confused by people's choices and
start with that.
This episode.
It's a jury. I want to make that clear. It's not about settling scores or personal grudges. It's a jury.
We're just dealing with the worst of the worst.
It sounds...
People did more than put on an NCP uniform or make a deal with the Cylon.
You have no proof.
The killers.
You have...
The real traitors.
You have no proof! Gata didn't kill a single person! Who did Gata kill?
Yeah, but none of this is legal, right?
No! Thank you.
It's legal.
No, it's not. How is it legal? Did Adama sanction it? I hope Adama finds out and all of you get fired. I'm sorry. But...
Just take your time.
You haven't been through evidence. You looked at a list.
You tell me that Gata saw this list and didn't do a damn thing.
He just
we have
told
no
you.
idea of knowing what Gata did or did not do when he saw the list.
Thank you. He said that he fed the information to the insurgency, to the resistance.
Guilty.
You looked at it for 2 seconds.
Chief, you're the last to vote.
Get out of here, Sam.
I'd like to talk to my wife. I'd like to do it now. I quit because I'm not looking for ways to keep killing people.
I need this.
No, you don't.
Throwing a few people out of airlock is gonna make you feel better about yourself? Because believe me, those aren't the people that kept you locked in that room.
They'll do. And not just for me, but for every person we left back on that planet, because someone has got to pay.
Innocent people have to pay.
Everyone likes Gata, so let's let him off the hook. Let's just look the other way on this one.
Y'all are wrong.
People had to pay the price for what they did. Choices they made on New Caprica.
I get that you're...
Like my wife.
Okay, yeah, I get that you're talking about your wife. That was your choice.
I'm in a different place now. I don't know how else to explain it to you. But I got out of that cell, and it's like someone painted the world in different colors.
Murderous ones?
And I look at you, and I want to tear your eyes out just for looking at me.
I get it. You've been...
I just want to hurt someone,
through...
and it might as well be you.
Okay, well, you don't need to hurt anybody. That's not a healthy coping mechanism for the fucking trauma you've been through.
So you should probably go before that happens.
Baltar signed death warrants, organized murder squads. He collaborated with the enemy from day one.
Baltar, not Gata.
It's the same goddamn thing.
He's right.
It's not.
A lot of people died because of them, Chief.
But y'all are wrong. You're wrong.
Fine. Guilty.
You're wrong. Anders, I need you to tell Adama what the fuck is happening, because this is not okay. Anders, if you don't fucking go tell Adama right now, I'm gonna be pissed. And I need all these people fired. Including Starbuck at this moment. Like, she does not need to have any position of any power.
You've been tried and found guilty of crimes against humanity by a circle of your peers, as duly authorized by the president of the colonies.
So Zarek said this was okay? That still doesn't make it okay, I don't think. Roslin would hate him.
We'll listen to you tell us how hiding behind Baltar's skirt was actually your way of helping the insurgency.
Say something.
He did, but fuck you. Fuck all of you.
What's the point?
He's not gonna say anything because y'all won't listen.
I already tried to explain it. I'm not gonna beg.
Too bad you didn't grow that spine 4 months ago.
He did, you fucking... Please tell Adama. Please tell Adama. Please tell Adama. Anders.
Beg.
No, he's not going to.
That's right.
No! Beg!
Kara, fucking stop.
Tell them all about the important information that you were giving up. Tell them about all the messages and the dog bowl and everything else. Just tell me.
What did she say? What did she just say? What did she just say? What did you say to her? Tell me, what did you say to her?
There was a yellow dog bowl. It was a signal. It meant there was a message in the garbage dump.
Yeah.
It was a signal. It meant there was a message in the garbage dump.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Chief.
There was a yellow dog bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
But wondering who the source was, Colonel. There's no other way he could have known. He's the only other one that would know about it. He's the reason we know about the death lists. He's the reason I saved Callie. He's the reason we're on this ship.
Exactly. Fuck all of y'all. See how wrong you were? Carol was just gonna let him die.
I did what I could. Don't know what else I could have done.
Exactly. Are you fucking realizing what the fuck you've been doing? I hope that this is a fucking mirror being held up to your fucking faces.
What the hell is this?
It's all perfectly legal.
No, it's not.
You'll find a signed executive order on file authorizing a secret jury of 6 men and women to try, sentence, and execute people guilty of extraordinary crimes.
They don't have evidence. There's no trial.
Your presidency is a farce.
Yes.
Stops right now.
If they're guilty, they'll be tried by a jury of their peers.
They have a jury.
No.
But they don't get lawyers.
A biased jury.
And they don't get lasting fame as martyrs or innocent people.
Some of them are. Some of them are, you fucking psycho.
Everyone, by law, is entitled to a trial with representation. Everyone. It is not an option to be discarded.
Thank you. Thank you.
Making the trials public, but you'll find justice.
Yes, I do.
Come on, Lord.
Yeah, because you have to actually find evidence by unbiased people.
An entertainment for the mob, and you'll be signing death warrants almost every day.
You hated her for...
Is that how you want to spend your next term, Laura?
No, maybe she'll give everybody a pardon. Maybe she'll just pardon people. Because guess what? We don't fucking murder people indiscriminately. Fucking hate Zarek.
Congratulations, Madam President.
Thank you.
I hope she just does a fucking pardon. Like a universal pardon. Anything that happened on New Caprica is in the past.
We share a unique destiny, but our future is ours to shape, and our past cannot be forgotten. A new day requires new thinking. And while I had intended on using this occasion as an opportunity to announce the formation of a special prosecutor's office charged with investigating acts of collaboration with the enemy, I have decided instead that a different gesture is called for on this, the first day of my next term as your president.
New start, pardon. Right.
We all feel the need for justice, and we all feel the need for vengeance. And telling the difference between the two can be difficult. We are all victims of the Cylons, and none of us can be impartial. I certainly can't. So today I am forming a commission on truth and reconciliation to hear our stories and record them for posterity. There will be no prosecutions.
Fuck you, bitch.
I am issuing a general pardon for every human being. This will not be a popular move today.
It's popular with me.
I truly believe that this is the only way for us to move forward in strength.
Yes. Finally.
I thank you for your continued patience.
I agree with her so much right now. Yes, same fucking Adama. Tyrell, sit with him. Sit with him, Tyrell. Thank you. Finally came to your fucking senses. Fucking finally. You guys, I was just mad most of this episode. Fucking. Okay. I'm trying to calm down, you guys, because, like, I have a lot to say, and I want to say it. I want to say it in like a way that is understood. You know, like comprehensive and, you know, also like comprehensible. So I have a lot of feelings about this episode. I have a lot of feelings about the jury that apparently was sanctioned by Zarek, but I fucking knew that Adama would never sanction that shit. I just, I don't know if my opinions and feelings and how angry I got in this episode is going to be a popular opinion, an unpopular opinion. Oftentimes when I'm watching things, I'm like, surely everybody feels this way. And then I am surprised to learn that that is not the case. So yeah, I don't know, but I just, I have to say it, right? One, I want to acknowledge that they are all coming from a place of immense pain and trauma that has been inflicted on them by the Cylons, and that everybody who was on that jury is a victim of being hurt deeply, in some cases tortured by the Cylons, and that they have every right to feel very violated and upset at what they've gone through. That I'm not arguing at all. However, one, that literally makes them the worst possible people to be in a jury, which by law, in Battlestar Galactica world and in our world, is supposed to be made up of impartial peers, right? They are not supposed to know or have any attachment to the victim or the perpetrators of the crimes that they are being asked to judge, right? Now, I'll talk about it more later, but that's partially why I fully agree with Roslin's pardon, and I was hoping that that's what she would do, because there is no way that anybody in the fleet could be impartial. In particular, the people who were working for the Resistance, which all of them were. Like, also, can we talk about the fucking audacity of Tom Zarek for a second? Because I have sort of flip-flopped back and forth on him in the seasons that he's been on the show. Like, when we were first introduced to him, I thought he made valid points about the prisoners and you know, the stance that he was taking on things. And I still think that his stance on the prisoners and their treatment was valid in season 1. However, this bitch is literally sitting there playing a judge for these other people, when I seem to remember in the episode Black Market that he had something to do with the black market and was therefore a party to children being sold for we all know what. What fucking moral, like, the quote from that episode is so perfect for right now, because I think it was, I can't remember his name, but the head guy that was bad at that time said, like, it's hard to take the moral high ground when we're all standing in the mud, or something along those lines. Great quote. Not amazing episode, but great quote, and so true. Like, what fucking high ground does Tom Zarek think that he has over anybody else to sit there and judge them for the choices that they made? I said in this episode, like, what fucking high ground do any of them have? Like, what right do they have to judge? To literally judge people to death? Especially mirrored in their own pain and trauma and clearly biased by that. Like, Starbuck, bless her, I love her, just admitted to Anders that all she wants is for somebody to pay. And it doesn't have to be somebody, I'm sorry, I'm yelling at you guys. it doesn't have to be somebody that's guilty. She wants to hurt Anders. She just wants to hurt people right now because she's feeling so much pain inside from the trauma that she endured, that the only way that she can think to quiet the internal struggle and debate and voices is to lash out and hurt and hurt and hurt, right? Now, a part of me wonders if Starbuck yelling at Gaeta in the way that she did was because a part of her, even though she wants to hurt, is regretting that, and so she wants like him to fight, to live, to like explain himself, to maybe get through to somebody. Like I kind of think that like a part of her was feeling that way. But yeah, it's just it's such a tricky situation, because I do understand that all of these characters that were on the jury have deeply personal wounds inflicted on them by the Cylons. They're all victims. They're all hurt, and they're all hurting, and they're trying to lash out because, you know, hurt people. And I can understand that from like a human point of view. It doesn't make it okay what they're doing or what they did. And especially they're saying like, we have this evidence, like we have all this evidence, yet based off of their guilty verdict for Gaeta, it's not infallible, you know? And I think that even with the evidence, like with poor fucking Jammer, you don't understand why he made the choices he made. And you didn't try to understand why he made the choices he made. And he did save Callie. He did try to help. But that to you doesn't negate it, right? And I'm not saying that it makes that guy's son died okay. But I am saying that something that has been bothering me about Ty this entire season, and it bothered me about the jury in this episode, except for Anders, who finally walked away, thank goodness, and Tyrell, who made the right choice. And I hope at the end they all realized what they were doing and like will have some self-reflection. I don't know. But is this, because they're so entrenched and like wallowing in a way, I guess. It's not really the word I want to use, but it's the word that's coming to mind right now. In their own trauma and their own like experience of being hurt by the Cylons, they don't have perspective, right? And they're just really trapped in their own perspective. And as a person, I understand that's hard, or it's hard to see outside of your own perspective, and it's hard, especially when you've been hurt, to try to take your pain out of it and see what the other person might have been experiencing in that moment, so that you can try to look at it from a little bit more of their perspective, right? I think it's something that's really important to learn how to do in a relationship of any kind, is to take your own personal feelings out of the equation for a second and sort of say, okay, like I feel like this is what's happening. It hurt me. Maybe that's not the intention. Let me try to look at what happened in this fight or whatever from my friend's perspective, or my husband's perspective, or my wife's perspective, or, you know, X, Y, and Z, my mom, my dad, my brother, whoever's perspective, right? And I think that when you can do that and look through your own hurt to try to see it from another perspective, that it can be very beneficial. And that's not to say that you're always going to be in the wrong and whoever's perspective you're looking at it from is in the right. I don't think that in this situation, that is so much important as the idea of being able to get out of yourself, right? Now, to me, it is frustrating. I don't think it's a failing of the show at all that these characters are stuck in their own perspective, right? I think it's a very realistic portrayal of people who have been hurt and traumatized, right? It's frustrating to us, the audience, because we have the ability to, one, not be the people who are traumatized, and two, to actively see it from all these other perspectives throughout the show. So we're sitting here as the audience, like, just look outside your own self and like try to see it from that perspective, right? At least I am. And the characters, because, you know, they are very fleshed out, complex people, are acting like people, you know? I think it's very, very difficult to look outside your own perspective and try to see it from someone else's point of view, just in everyday life, when the pain and trauma of living is usually not nearly as heightened as it is in a situation like this. So yeah, I think that it's frustrating as an audience member because we know that Gaeta has helped. Like, we know the whole time, like, what Gaeta was doing. But we also know, if we watched the Resistance webisodes, like, not just what Jammer was doing to help Callie, but we know the reasons that he joined with the NCP in the first place. And we know that it was because of his disillusionment with the Resistance and their cavalier attitude towards innocent lives being taken in, you know, pursuit of winning the war. Like, they were okay with casualties. They were okay with innocent people dying if it furthered their cause. They didn't shed any tears over that. Ty and that one girl, if memory serves, were happy about it. Now, I don't think they were happy that the people died, but they were happy that their plan worked and were totally okay with those innocent people dying for their plan to work because it caused more people to join the Resistance, right? So, like, knowing all of that, having seen the Resistance webisodes, knowing that, you know, this is the reason that Jammer was disillusioned and this is why he chose what he chose, like, I think it adds so much more compassion for us, the audience, to his character. And it really kind of, I think, shows the Resistance in a negative light. Like, why are they not trying themselves? You know? Like, they didn't join the NCP, sure, but they're not collaborators, but they caused the death of innocent people. You know, I just, it gets frustrating for me because as much as I can understand, like I said, that these are victims, I think that there's a difference in going through trauma and then actively choosing to inflict trauma on others. I just fundamentally, as a person, vehemently disagree with forming a jury that sort of operates outside of the law. Even if it's sanctioned by the president, Zarek, it's not following the laws of the civilization that it exists within, right? And I'm not saying that that doesn't happen in real life. Horrifically, I'm sure that it does. That also doesn't make it okay in real life. I think Ty in particular frustrates me in this episode because, and again, it's hard because I fully understand that he is grieving the loss of his wife. And, like, regardless of you know, the question that I had up in the air about her, I think she probably is dead and that he made that choice. Now, I think that he's turning his pain and his anger at himself outward and choosing to hurt other people because of that. But I think that it's been a long-standing issue that I've had with Ty, is that he doesn't ever try to look outside his own perspective on something. Like, really ever. Like, he is like, I've made up my mind, this is the way that it is, and you will not convince me otherwise. And it often, there's no reason that he thinks that way or feels that way that is rooted in fact, you know? So it frustrates me. Yeah, like, there's times I really like Ty, there's times I really do not like Ty, and this is just one of the times I really don't like him. I hope that at some point he will grow as a character, you know? I keep thinking that he's grown and then he sort of regresses, which again is a natural, accurate portrayal of human growth, right? We don't all, like, when we're changing and growing into better versions of ourselves, it's not all linear, it's not all up, it's not all good. It's, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So I get it, but he still frustrates me, you know? Like, what can I say? He still frustrates me. Zarek. In the beginning of this episode, when he was having the conversation with Roslin about, I'll step down as VP, let you be president, and then, you know, she'll make him VP. One, I don't think he's going to be VP now, because Roslin is probably like, do not want that on my government, which fully agree. I'm honestly happy that Roslin is president again, because I think that she historically, aside from one bad decision that I did not like, has done a much better job than Zarek, and hopefully she will take religion out of it and it'll be a little bit better going forward. I was hopeful that Zarek had learned and grown and changed after, you know, being in New Caprica and all the shit that he went through. But it appears that he is still, you know, just not a good person. And we're not meant to root for him. So I don't know. I kind of thought for like a split second that they were gonna like do something with Zarek and Roslin, like romantically. I don't think they're gonna do that anymore. Although I'm still waiting for the follow-up of the kiss between Adama and Roslin, because are we just forgetting that happened show? Because I'm not forgetting. Also, I'm kind of sad that Starbuck and Anders are breaking up, divorcing, like whatever it is that's happening between them, and I understand it, and I think that Starbuck is in a very emotionally fraught place right now, and she needs time and distance to heal and become the best version of herself again. And I think that it makes sense for her to step away from the relationship, even if it's just temporarily, because she has a lot to work on, and I don't know that she would be the best partner at this exact time. However, I think that if she could talk to Anders, explain to him how she's feeling, like in a healthy way, and they could work through it together, and he could understand that like for a little while it's gonna have to be like a little bit more about her and less about him, and they could work through that together. I think it would be really beneficial for their relationship in the long run, and them as characters understanding each other and coming together from and being stronger for working through those issues together. But I don't know that the show is going to go that direction. It doesn't look like it. Maybe they'll find their way back to each other once Starbuck finds a little bit of healing. I am very interested to see how their relationship plays out, like if they do get back together at some point. Because honestly, like we haven't seen Lee that much this season. We definitely haven't seen Lee and Starbuck together in like a hot minute. So I'm actually a little bit, scandalous to say, I know, more invested in Anders and Starbuck at the moment than Starbuck and Lee. So yeah, I'm interested in to see how they will work it out. Or not, I guess, as the case may be. There was something I picked up in the beginning that I had a small question about, and it was when they were executing Jammer. They said the whatever day, I didn't catch that part, but of the second Exodus. And it makes sense because the previous two episodes were called Exodus, and they were leaving New Caprica and trying to find Earth again. I'm assuming the first Exodus is leaving Caprica in the first place, and then this is the second Exodus. So I'm curious if in Battlestar Galactica world, this sort of works as like BC and AD, right? Like, is it just how we're tracking time now, right? So it's kind of like year one of the second Exodus now. Also, speaking of Anders, can I just say I was very proud of him for realizing how fucked up what they were doing was and being the first to be like, I don't want any part of this and I'm leaving. To be fair, he did help them kill like 13 people before he reached that point, which is pretty fucked up. But I'm glad that he reached that point seemingly much sooner than everyone else. Except for Tyrell. I think Tyrell was also reaching that point. And that makes me happy because Tyrell in the Resistance webisodes and Tyrell so far this season has been worrying me with his more aggressive stances on things. And I like that he's sort of walking that back now into a more comfortable place, I think. Okay, and the last thing I think I want to talk about is poor fucking Gaius on this Cylon ship, who everybody hates back on the Galactica, as I suspected they would. And nobody kind of understands that he was between a rock and a hard place. They don't understand that anybody was between a rock and a hard place, seemingly. And poor Gaius having that dream in the beginning of them recognizing the shit situation he was put in and being welcomed back. And then also the whole Roslin thing on top of it, I think is just meant to depict Gaius's sort of ego and desire for all women to want him all of the time. You know, he's definitely depicted as like a playboy character, and I don't know. Anyway, that's beside the point. I feel bad for him, one, because he's basically being kept prisoner on this Cylon ship, and they're deciding what they're going to do with him going forward. And Caprica 6, it's up to her, and she's sort of waffling because she's thinking...
That's not nice.
Okay, it's commenting on a long paragraph about Gaius. I agree that it's not nice, but she's sort of waffling back and forth about like what she wants to do, and if she wants to lean into being just a Cylon, if she wants to lean into being more than just a Cylon, and where that puts her in relation to Gaius, because she's looking at their relationship as this sort of weakness that has caused her to make all of these, in her mind, bad decisions that has cost the Cylons a lot of things. But what I don't understand is like why the Cylons lack any perspective to see that they made themselves the bad guys again, and that's why they were treated as the bad guys again. You know, they recognized that mass genocide was probably the wrong choice, but they don't recognize that subjugation and you know, just indiscriminate murder was also the bad choice. Cylons are like children who have not yet learned that there are consequences to actions. You know? Yeah. Long story short, I feel bad for Gaius. Poor guy doesn't even have freaking clothes. They just give him a robe and a room that is full of light. You could not sleep in there unless you're somebody who sleeps with a lot of lights on, in which case, like, I guess you could sleep in there, but that bed did not look very comfy. There was no pillow. There was no covers. No clothes. Does he have food and water? I don't know. I just feel bad for Gaius, but I'm curious to see where his storyline goes from here. I almost weirdly want him to just fully be on board with the Cylons because, you know, at this point, there's no way he would ever be welcomed back into humanity, so why not? Anyway, I think that is all the rambling that I have to do. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode, every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries and the Resistance episodes. That is over on Patreon as well. Please let me know if you guys got as heated as I did during this episode, because like the injustice of it was just like a lot. Or if you're like not as upset as me. I just need to know. Sorry, I just need to know. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next time. I hope you have a good day, week in the meantime. Until then, bye guys. Why did I smile like a fucking psycho?